Abbas Aslani is a senior research fellow at the Center for Middle East Strategic Studies. He joins us now from Tehran. So, is there still an agreement, a common understanding even, of what the starting point is, what the basis for negotiations is between the US and Iran?
Sami, the ceasefire agreement seems to be very fragile because just day one we saw that there were exchange of fire as well as, the difference in the interpretation of the framework of the upcoming negotiations. As I speak, sources here quoted by Iranian media reject the reports of an Iranian delegation arriving in Pakistan for talks with the United States. The Iranian side is saying that the talks could be suspended by the time that the U.S. is committed to the terms of the ceasefire agreement and by the time that Israel continues the strikes in Lebanon. And this is indicates that how difficult the upcoming talks will be. And
Abbas, just to clarify,
the most
you're
important,
saying you're hearing that from the Iranian side,
yes,
that they might suspend the talks. Are you suggesting that they may not have those talks in Pakistan on Saturday? The Iranians may not show up for it. Is what you're hearing?
Sami, they did not precisely say that they will suspend the talks, but they say that up to now, it is suspended by the time that the U.S. complies with the terms of the agreement, and Israel, stops, strikes in Lebanon. So the talks can be held in Pakistan. But what Iran wants to make sure that if the U.S. wants to come to Islamabad and to talk with the Iranian delegation, they have to, push Israel to stop the strikes in Lebanon, and they insist that Lebanon has been included in the framework that was earlier discussed between the two sides.
So it sounds like the issue of Israeli attacks on Lebanon is something of a deal breaker to the Iranian side. Is that how you're seeing it?
Yes, Iran has been seeing, Israel as a spoiler in the process, not just now, but in the previous rounds of negotiations. And, one of the major conditions that Iran proposed in the 10-point plan was that the ceasefire must have been, adopted in the whole front, including in Lebanon, because post-2024 ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, we have been seeing violations from the Israeli side. So that's why Iran this time wants to make sure that this will include Lebanon. But in addition to that, there have been also some discussions on the framework of the upcoming talks. The U.S. president, Iranian side, initially they said that the 10-point plan provided by Iran can be a workable framework for those discussions. And but so far, the Lebanon issue seems to be the most important sticking point, as we are expecting to see if the talks in Islamabad will convene or not.
There may be other stumbling blocks they're heading towards when you look at the latest posts on social media by the US President Donald Trump, because he's posted a series of warnings to Iran. Writing on Truth Social, he said there are reports that Iran is charging fees to tankers going through the Hormuz Strait. They better not be, and if they are, they better stop now. In a second post, Trump said Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, and he wrote, "You'll see oil start flowing with or without the help of Iran." Now, Abbas, when you compare that to what we've heard from Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei about how he's saying there will be a new phase, he's calling it, for managing the Strait of Hormuz, are the two sides, the US and Iran, heading towards a dead end or a stumbling block on that issue?
On the issue of the nuclear weapons, I think that both sides can see eye to eye, but on Strait of Hormuz, the remarks by the American president has been somehow conflicting. Earlier, he didn't seem to be opposing this Iranian position. This was also among the major conditions put in 10-point plan. But as you said, the Iranian leader is saying that the management of the Strait of Hormuz is entering into a new phase. And Iran believes that there is a geopolitical reset for the Strait, and this cannot return to the status quo. This seems to be one of the most important issues that Iran insists that needs to remain in place, because Tehran assumes that this is a leverage that could be used now and in future. It could be also a source of revenue to reconstruct the country following the recent aggression. And we have to. This was also in the 10-point plan, which the U.S. president assumed as a workable framework. But
Right.
we have to be waiting to see how discussions unfold in Islamabad and what they say in details in this. On this topic.
All right, and coming back to the Lebanon track, it's been reported today the Israeli Prime Minister said he wants talks with Lebanon. It's been suggested that that could lead to something of a quietening, if not a ceasefire, on the Lebanese front. But would Iran accept a situation in which it goes to talks in Pakistan, but is told, we're not talking about Lebanon. That's being handled separately between Israel and Lebanon directly. Would that be a loss of influence, leverage for Iran if it cannot link its ceasefire to a ceasefire in Lebanon and demonstrate that it has the ability to impose its will as far away as in Lebanon too?
Sami, if it's related to the Lebanese government to hold negotiations with other parties, including with Israel, that's up to them. I think Iran will not interfere in this issue. But in terms of, attacks against Lebanon or on Hezbollah, Iran wants to make sure that this will stop. Tehran has been in contact with Hezbollah ahead of the Islamabad talks. They have received the reservations, considerations, or the red lines from the Hezbollah side. And one thing which is important is that Israel has been trying to adopt a model toward Hezbollah in the past, a few months or years, which is despite 2024, ceasefire, they have been attacking several times Lebanon, and they want to keep this model toward the region anytime they come to anywhere and to kill or target any location or kill any person. So that's why it's important for Hezbollah as well as Iran to stop this, trend and this cycle. So this is, in a bigger picture, not just limited to Lebanon, but could be adopted toward region, other parts of the resistance front. And Iran does not want to see that post, agreement, Israel will attack different parts of the resistance front in future, trying to weaken, undermine the front.
Okay, Abbas Aslani, Senior Research Fellow at the Center for Middle East Strategic Studies. Thanks for joining us.